John chapter 3. Because when people say, well, I'm born again, see, you need to clarify what you're talking about. Because you could be really saying something way off the map. You know what I'm saying? Because we being born again also ain't just a change in mind. It's a change in body. We're going to learn this right now. John chapter 3 and pick it up at verse 3 again. Go ahead, bro.
Jesus answered and said unto him, Verily, verily, I say unto thee, except a man be born again, he cannot see the kingdom of God. Nicodemus saith unto him, How can a man be born when he is old? Can he enter the second time into his mother's womb and be born? Jesus answered, Verily, verily, I say unto thee, except a man be born of water and of the Spirit, he cannot enter into the kingdom of God. That which is born of the flesh is flesh, and that which is born of the Spirit is spirit.
Alright, so now he's starting to answer Nicodemus' question. Because Nicodemus did come at him with a question. You read that verse 4, it's a question with two questions in there. He said, Nicodemus said to him, Can a man be born when he is old? Can he enter the second time into his mother's womb? Now notice what he said, verse 6. That which is born of the flesh is flesh, and that which is born of the Spirit is spirit. Let's go over to Job chapter 19. See, because we was born in the flesh when we came out of our mother's womb. Now, that was being born. But the Lord said we got to be born again of the Spirit, though. You understand? Now, you might think, well, the Spirit is the Word. Right, the Spirit is the Word sometimes. But we done already saw that you got to be born of the water of the Word. You understand what I'm saying? So we can't say, oh, you got to be born of the water being the Spirit and the Spirit being the Spirit. No, this time, and that's why he getting on the physical. I mean, he giving it to you on a literal platform. You got to be born of the water first, then you're going to be born of the Spirit to enter into the kingdom of heaven, because flesh and blood don't get into the kingdom of heaven. This is what when we talk about flesh and blood, we're talking about people like us. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like going into outer space or something. It ain't gonna work. Let's go. Where we at? Job chapter 19 and pick it up at Job 19 and pick it up at verse 25. We're gonna read two verses here.
For I know that my Redeemer liveth, and that he shall stand at the latter day upon the earth.
Notice what he said. He gonna stand at the latter day upon the earth. Jesus is the Redeemer. And he gonna stand at the latter day upon the earth, right? Go ahead.
And though after my skin worms destroyed this body.
So he said, now even though worms gonna destroy this body, where they gonna destroy him at? In the grave. Like, you know, I was watching this movie, Jason. I think it was like part 5 or 6. You know what I'm saying? And they opened up the casket. It was just worms just all on him. You know what I'm saying? They had to destroy his body. Now, you know, that was a movie, so they brought Jason back. You know what I mean? They keep bringing him back, too. But in reality, though, he said, and though after my skin worms destroyed his body, what else he say? Go ahead.
Yet in my flesh shall I see God.
You see that? He's saying, but when I see God, I'm going to have a body. I'm going to have a substance. Let's go find out some more about this substance. Let's go to 1 Corinthians chapter 15. 1 Corinthians chapter 15. See? So people think when they get into the kingdom of God, they're going to be a puff of smoke or something. You know what I'm saying? And God is a puff of smoke. You know, people really thinking like that. We talking about bodies, brothers and sisters. Don't you understand we was made in the image of God? You know God got hands, and if God wanted to, he could just tap you, and you'll feel him, and he'll feel you. That's a body. 1 Corinthians chapter 15, and pick it up at verse 35. See, this ain't no fairy tale. This is the real deal. All of it is authentic. Go ahead, though.
But some man will say, how are the dead raised up, and with what body do they come?
Now, what Job was talking about, he said, I know my Redeemer living, but you know, at the end I see him. You know, I'm in the grave, worms eating on me, but in my flesh, I'm going to see God. So he say, right here in verse 35, he say, but some man will say, how are the dead raised up, and what body do they come? Some people going to want to know this. If I'm telling you that it ain't no reincarnation, that ain't how it's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be, your body is, you going to get a new body. I'm telling you this. Then your question should, that's a straight up question. So, you know what I'm saying, what kind of body we going to get? And Paul understood. Go ahead.
Thou fool, that which thou sawest is not quickened except it die.
So he's saying, look, the first thing is, you know, sow mean like to plant. He's like, what you sow, it ain't brought to life unless it die. Like, I'm gonna give you an example. If you put an apple tree in the ground, apple seed in the ground, that seed gotta like explode. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like the tree look like a seed. You understand what I'm saying? The tree don't even look like the seed. But you put that seed in the ground, and then it died. That's what's going to happen to that seed. It's no longer going to be that little black thing. It's going to explode into something. It's going to become something else. But what we originally put in there is gone. So he said, and that which thou sowest or put down in the ground, he said, no, thou fool, that which thou sowest is not quickened, brought back to life, unless it die. And he talking about us. We got to die first. Go ahead. Keep reading. Verse 37.
And that which thou sowest not that body that shall be, but bear grain, it may chance of wheat or of some other grain.
Right. So he's saying, look, the body we got right now, you know what I'm saying? That which thou sowest not the body that shall be. This, like the body we got now, ain't the body we gonna have when we resurrect. Right. It's gonna be something different. But go ahead.
But God giveth it a body as it hath pleased him, and to every seed his own body.
See, so and everybody gonna have their own body. You know what I mean? Everybody, every seed his own body. Meaning we the seed, and each one of us gonna have his own body. Now think about what I'm telling you. The seed is gonna be put in the ground, and it's a body that when you come out, you gonna have. You know what I'm saying? That's what he's telling you. Everybody gonna have their own one. Go ahead.
All flesh is not the same flesh,
but
there is one kind of flesh of men, another flesh of beasts, another of fishes, and another of birds.
So because Job said, my flesh, I'm going to see God. Keep reading.
There are also celestial bodies and bodies terrestrial, but the glory of the celestial is one, and the glory of the terrestrial is another.
So he's saying it's heavenly bodies. Keep reading, though. We're going to keep reading.
There is one glory of the sun, and another glory of the moon, and another glory of the stars, for one star differeth from another star in glory.
So, keep reading.
So also is the resurrection of the dead. It is sown in corruption. It is raised in incorruption.
That's right. Go ahead.
It is sown in dishonor. It is raised in glory. It is sown in weakness. It is raised in power. It is sown a natural body. It is raised a spiritual body. There's a natural body and there's a spiritual body.
You see, so he's saying, look, the body, it goes down a natural body, but it is raised a spiritual body. There is a natural body and there is a spiritual body. He told us earlier in the chapter, he said it's two types of flesh. Just like animals got types of flesh. You know, it's one kind of flesh of men, then another of the fish, and another. He's saying they all flesh. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's all skin. A shark got skin. A catfish got skin. A snake got skin. All of us got skin, but it's a different kind of skin on this level. Then he said there are also celestial bodies and terrestrial bodies. You got heavenly body, like Jesus and them got a body. And we're going to see his body in a minute. I'm telling you, the book is clear on this now. But let's skip over to verse 47 first. Go ahead.
The first man is of the earth, earthy. The second man is the Lord from heaven. As is the earthy, such are they also that are earthy. And as is the heavenly, such are they also that are heavenly. And as we have borne the image of the earthy, we shall also bear the image of the heavenly.
See, so he said, just like basically he's trying to tell you, man, look, we all done been flesh and blood people, but we ultimately gonna all be spiritual people. But the first thing is we had to be regular people first. You know what I'm saying?